guys, and welcome back to another Colorful Keto with Dory. We're just going to do a quick video today on how to make homemade butter out of heavy whipping cream, which is a 35% cream. And we are also going to do a dairy-free butter flavored spread. So we're going to start with that one because that one needs to chill. So how we're going to make a dairy-free butter spread, I'm just going to tip you guys down a little bit. So it's only 2 ingredients and then a flavor. So it calls for equal parts of extra virgin olive oil and a good organic coconut oil. So we're going to start with the olive oil. And we're not going to make a huge batch, so I'm going to do 1/2 cup of each. So 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and to that we're going to add 1/2 cup of organic coconut oil. A little bit more. There we go. So then we are going to take this and we're going to pop it in the microwave just until it's all melted together. And then once that comes out of the microwave, we're going to put it into a bowl and we're going to put it into the freezer and we're going to chill it just until it's cloudy. And then we're going to add the flavor and whip it up. So we've got that going in the microwave just for 30 seconds. Tip you guys back a little bit again so we can chit chat. So I'm kind of curious if there's any other solutions you guys are looking for. My sister recently went dairy-free, so I am starting to experiment with a lot of dairy-free recipes. If that interests you, then drop dairy-free in the comments and we'll look at some additional videos. Okay, so now we've got this out of the microwave. We're just going to stir it until the coconut oil and the olive oil are melted together. Now, what I picked up for this, that I'm using for this, is a butter flavoring that I actually grabbed from Bulk Barn, and it's meant to be for icing flavoring, but it's got a very rich natural butter flavor. The original recipe I came across for this didn't add a flavoring extract, but I want it to have a really strong butter flavor, so we're going to add some butter flavored extract to that as well. Now, if you want a salted butter flavor, then what I do is I make it with a popcorn butter salt, and then it gives you a salted butter flavor. So we're going to pop this into the freezer real quick, and while that's cooling, we are going to do our homemade butter out of whipping cream. So I'm just going to pour this into the bowl. And once it's incorporated, you want to chill it just until it's cloudy. So we're just going to pop it in the freezer for a minute. And then we're going to make a homemade butter, and we're just using a heavy whipping cream, which is a 35% whipping cream. Now today we're going to do a garlic flavored butter just because I like garlic flavored butter. So I use a food processor, Ninja, anything like that's going to work. I believe a blender probably would work. A food mixer, a hand mixer is going to work as well. It'll just take a little while longer. So we're going to pour our heavy whipping cream directly into the mixer. And to that, I'm going to add a little bit of minced garlic. I'm going to say about a teaspoon. I like it quite garlicky. And then a mix of just Italian seasoning. This one we refilled out of what we grew at home, but it's just a mixed Italian herb seasoning. So we're going to add some of that. Now, if you want to do just a plain butter, it's just the heavy whipping cream. But today we're going to do a flavored butter, and then we're going to add some Himalayan pink salt for salted butter. And then we are just going to whip it until the cream separates from the buttermilk. So it's going to make you butter, and it's going to make buttermilk. So the liquid that comes off is buttermilk, and I save that for my pancakes. Okay, let's take a peek at that. Okay, we're about halfway there. I'm just going to scrape down the sides. And you can see that it's a really light whipped fluffy, but we still want to whip it until the liquid separates from that. Okay, now if you're looking for just a whipped butter, then at this point is where I would stop and I would take it out and I would chill it. But if you're looking for something that's more of a solid block butter, then you're going to want to continue until you can see some more of the liquid separate from. Okay, so we can see the more we whip it, the thicker and heavier it gets, and then the buttermilk starts to separate a little bit more from the bottom. So we're just going to whip this one a little bit more, and I'm going to put it into a container because I want something that's in between a heavy butter and whipped butter, because that's what I like best. So now you can see that you can definitely, oh, I'm spilling the liquid. See the liquid, turn you separate. The liquid separated from the butter. So we're going to strain that through a cheesecloth to get our butter. So I'm just going to grab us some cheesecloth out, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I got a little bowl here. I'm going to tip you guys back down a little bit. So you're just going to take your cheesecloth over top of your bowl. And then we're going to empty it directly into So we're just going to squeeze out the extra buttermilk. Okay, and then I'm going to open this up so you guys can see. That will give you your nice firm block of butter. Grab the spoon so you can see. And then it will be your nice spreadable butter. So that one is our regular butter. I'm just going to squeeze a teeny bit more of this buttermilk out because I'm making a big mess around here. And that's going to go in our container for our butter. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to quick wash up my hands, and we're going to do the dairy-free butter. Okay, and just so you guys can get an idea of the amount as well, this is how much buttermilk we ended up with. And again, I reserved that, I put it into the fridge, and I saved that for things like buttermilk pancakes, which I make out of almond flour. So I'm going to pop that into the fridge, and we're going to get our non-dairy out of the freezer. Let me just move some of this out of the way. Okay, so this is cloudy but not frozen, which is exactly what we want. I'm going to tip you guys down a little bit so that you can see. And then we're just going to whip it with a cake mixer. Now, according to the recipe, it will double in volume when you whip it. And I find that's pretty close to how that works. Okay, so I'm just going to stop it in between so you guys can see what we're starting to get. And I'm going to scrape the side of the bowl quick and then give it another whip. And that one will be done. So any flavor that you want to add to this as well, go nuts. If you want, you know, pumpkin spice butter, if you want almond flavored dairy-free butter, if you want... Somebody was telling me today that they really missed mango. You could make a mango flavored butter spread. Easy peasy. Okay, so there is our dairy-free butter-flavored spread. I'm going to turn you guys a little bit so you can see better into the bowl. And I'm going to grab a knife and show you guys how it spreads. Okay, so your dairy-free butter spread would spread like a nice thick creamy icing, and you can refrigerate it, or in all honesty it's not going to melt on your countertop. And I say that because my coconut oil doesn't turn solid on my counter unless it's quite warm in my house. So if that is the case at your home, then feel free to keep it on the counter. Otherwise, stick it in the fridge. Thanks again for stopping by to hang out with me, guys, and learning about how to make homemade butter and how to make homemade dairy-free butter. I hope to see you guys again soon. And again, if you like the videos, subscribe to the link at the bottom, and feel free to submit any ideas you have. All my videos are based on questions from support groups, and that means your questions. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for popping by.